Hi and welcome to this video. I'm Lukas. In this video we're going to take a look at the new Studio Verb plugin in Fender Studio Pro 8. Studio Verb is the new algorithmic reverb, and I think this effect is extremely versatile. You can use it as a realistic room simulation, which is what it was primarily designed for, but it also includes some special options that allow you to create more creative effects as well. I'll come back to those later in the video. As a composer working a lot in film music, game music and related genres, a good reverb is absolutely essential for me. And personally, Studio Verb has already replaced most of my third-party reverbs when it comes to realistic rooms. So instead of talking too much, let's listen to some presets. We'll start with a drum part. That's the dry recording. Now let's hear it with the Studio Verb. You can see that we have controls for all the important parameters, but not like hundreds of parameters, so it's still very easy to tweak. Let's bypass the reverb. Studio Verb comes with more than 100 presets organized into 11 different folders. The sound designer at Fender who created these presets told me that many of them are based on real existing buildings and spaces. That includes room dimensions, reverberation times, and interior characteristics. We have places like the Cologne Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, Notre Dame, the Elbphilharmonie, the Taj Mahal, a reverb without the Taj Mahal, that just wouldn't feel right. And also private rooms, theater and club venues, chambers, rehearsal rooms, basements and caves. And some more artificial presets that are based on or inspired by reverbs like the EMT 140, clouds, big sky and many others. Let's hear how Studio Verb sounds on vocals. Again, the unprocessed vocals first.
'Cause you have been on my mind. 'Cause you have been on my mind. Been on my mind. Every night. It's true. It's a matter of time. We'll see the light. 'Cause you're on my mind. You're on my mind.
Besides all the different rooms, there are also presets designed for different instruments, for drums, guitars, keys and vocals. So let's just try some of the vocal presets.
'Cause you have been on my mind. Been on my mind. Every night. It's true. It's a matter of time.
I really like that there aren't hundreds of presets with random variations, but rather a distinct selection that is ready for production. And as I just demonstrated, they are really easy to tweak. While we are talking about tweaking, with the new channel overview in Fender Studio Pro, you can also tweak the settings of the reverb without having the plugin window open. The channel overview shows you all the effects for the track or channel you have selected, so that's really cool if you are editing or mixing and you want to change some of the parameters. You can also select the presets directly from here. And here's a quick tip for the shortcut ninjas. You can use shortcuts to switch presets here. There are two commands when you go to Studio Pro and keyboard shortcuts. These are under Presets, Next and Previous. Usually they are already assigned to a keyboard shortcut, but you can of course assign them to any key you want. And then you don't have to click with the mouse anymore, but you can just go through the different presets with these keyboard shortcuts, which is great if you're recording on your MIDI keyboard and you just want to try some different presets while playing. Before we continue, if you are enjoying this content, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and click the bell. That way you won't miss any Studio Pro tutorials here on the channel. Let's listen to another example. As I've mentioned, I do a lot of cinematic music and game music and things like that. For example, I just needed a percussion part in one of my tracks, and I didn't want to use samples that already have a lot of reverb baked into the samples. And there's a cool preset under drums, which is called Taiko Hall. And the great thing about that is that I can design the room I want to have for these percussions. Let me show you. Alone the fact that I can change the size of the room or the damping is so useful for this kind of music. And I could even automate things like the amount of reverb or the decay, which is great because in a game I could simulate moving deeper into the hall and trigger that transition directly from within the game. And in case you didn't know this, Studio Pro has very sophisticated surround and spatial audio support, so you can mix your music or audio in multi-channel formats as well. All of the stock plugins in Studio Pro support surround, which means that Studio Verb is also a very powerful surround reverb. And it's just part of the program, nothing extra to install. For me, that's a huge benefit. Let's hear some strings and a cello melody. First, the dry signal of the strings. And here's the preset to turn them into very spacey and distant sounding strings. And then there's the cello, which would sound like this. But with my Studio Verb preset, it now sounds like this. That's probably even too much reverb for the cello, but just as an example to show you how it can sound. Now, as I promised you, although Studio Verb is a room simulation for acoustic spaces, there are some parameters that can be used to create completely unrealistic spaces. Fairy tale-like worlds, clouds, pads, and other creative textures. One example that is relatively uncommon in reverbs is the damping parameter behaving this way. You are not only able to turn it down to dampen the high frequencies, but you can also push it upwards and dampen the low frequencies instead. From an acoustic point of view, this kind of reverse damping is quite unnatural, but it's perfect for shimmering, glittery reverbs and other synthetic magical textures. And you can find some presets that make heavy use of this under creative spaces and special spaces, so those are definitely worth checking out. Now let me show you this last example, a piano sound. Of course, I could just use the Stage B preset, or put it into a jazz club. But let's use one of the creative presets to process the piano. Or this one, add more pads. As you might guess, these presets work also great on synthesizer sounds like pads or arpeggios, like this preset in my Studio Pro's polyphonic synthesizer. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, and if you don't want to miss any new tips and secrets about Studio Pro, and of course I also have a ton of content about Studio One, which also applies to the new Studio Pro version, then please subscribe to my channel. This also makes sure that I can continue making this content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.